Why Filipinos should be tax educated. This video breaks down tax education in the Philippines, explaining what taxes are, why they matter, and how every Filipino can stay compliant. Whether you're a student, professional, or entrepreneur, these simple tips will help you navigate the beer, save money, and avoid penalties. Watch now and get the big picture of Philippine taxes in just a few minutes. Definition and legal framework of taxation in the Philippines. A. Definition of taxation in the Philippines. 1. Definition. Taxation is the inherent power of the state to impose and collect taxes from individuals, properties, and activities within its jurisdiction to generate revenue for public purposes. In the Philippine context, it is a way for the government to finance its operations, provide public services, and promote social and economic development. It is not a contractual obligation, but a mandatory exaction by the state, enforceable through law. The general principle is that taxes are mandatory contributions, proportionate in nature, and levied by law for the support of government and public needs. KCAP 1 Legal Framework of Taxation in the Philippines. The power to tax is derived from the 1987 Philippine Constitution and is implemented through various laws, the most important being the NIRC of 1997, Republic Act No. 8424, as amended by later laws like Train, Create, and others. Key NIRC provisions on taxation. Section 1, NIRC, Title and Scope. This act shall be known as the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997. It governs all national internal revenue taxes in the Philippines. Section 2, NIRC, Powers and Duties of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, BIR. The BIR shall assess and collect all national internal revenue taxes, fees, and charges, and enforce penalties. Section 21, NIRC, Sources of Revenue. Internal revenue taxes include O income tax, O estate and donors tax, O value added tax, VAT, O percentage tax, O excise tax, O documentary stamp tax, DST, Section 24 to 57, NIRC, income tax provisions, who is liable, rates, etc. Section 72 onwards, other internal revenue taxes, VAT, percentage, excise, DST, Section 200 to 288 Administrative and Penal Provisions KCAP 2 who are authorized to collect taxes in the Philippines. Tax collection in the Philippines is divided into national and local levels. A national taxes, collected by Bureau of Internal Revenue, BIR, authorized under Section 2, NIRC. BIR collects O income tax, O VAT, O percentage tax, O excise tax, O estate and donors taxes, O documentary stamp tax, DST, Bureau of Customs, BOC, under Tariff and Customs Code, for customs duties and import taxes, B local taxes, collected by local government units, LGUs, under the Local Government Code of 1991, RA 7160, collected by O municipal, city treasurers, O provincial treasurers, O barangay treasurers, limited taxes, fees, examples, O real property tax, O business permit fees, O community tax, CEDALA, O local business tax. Checkmark in short. BIR equals National Internal Revenue Taxes, per NIRC, BOC equals Customs Duties and Taxes on Imports, Exports. LGUs equals Local Taxes and Fees, per Local Government Code. E. Why Filipinos should be tax educated. KCAP 1 to ensure compliance and avoid penalties. Reason. Many taxpayers unintentionally commit violations simply because they don't understand the rules. Evidence. The Bureau of Internal Revenue, BIR, imposes surcharges, up to 50%, interest, 20% per year, and compromise penalties for late or incorrect filings, NIRC Sec. 248 and 249. Example. A freelancer who doesn't know they must file a quarterly percentage tax may face multiple penalties in 1 year, turning a 3,000 pesos due into over 10,000 pesos in charges. KCAP 2 to maximize legitimate deductions and tax savings. Reason. Tax education teaches individuals and businesses how to legally reduce tax liabilities. Evidence. Under the NIRC, taxpayers can claim deductions, Sec. 34 for businesses, OSD option under Sec. 34L. However, many Filipinos fail to do so because they don't know the requirements. Example. A small business owner unaware of allowable expense deductions ends up paying VAT or income tax on gross revenue instead of taxable income, which is often much smaller. KCAP 3 to empower entrepreneurs and self-employed professionals. Reason. MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises, form 99.5% of businesses in the Philippines, DTI 2023 report, yet many lack tax literacy. Evidence. Beer records show that a significant number of small business closures are due to non-compliance and tax arrears, not business unprofitability. Impact. Tax education helps entrepreneurs make informed pricing, budgeting, and compliance decisions. KeyCap 4 to strengthen national development. Reason. Taxes fund essential public services, roads, schools, healthcare, social aid. Evidence. The 2024 Philippine national budget shows 4.3 trillion pesos of revenues are tax-based, meaning over 85% of government programs depend on taxpayer money. Impact. Tax-educated citizens better understand the connection between compliance and the quality of public infrastructure and services. KeyCap 5 to protect against fraud and misinformation. Reason. Scammers and fake tax fixers exploit taxpayers who don't know the system. Evidence. BEER has issued multiple advisories warning against tax fixers who promise lower tax liabilities in exchange for fees, often leading to falsified returns and legal trouble. Example. A taxpayer unknowingly using fake receipts for deductions can face criminal charges under NIRC Sec. 255 and 257. Checkmark. Bottom line. Tax education is not just about paying the government, it's about protecting yourself, saving money, growing your business, and contributing to the country's development. It turns taxes from a source of fear into a tool for empowerment. 3. What institutions can do to tax educate the public? KeyCap 1 Department of Education, DepEd, integrate basic tax education into the curriculum. Include topics on citizenship, government revenue, and basic personal finance in Araling Panlipunan, TLE, and senior high school economics. Through micro-credentialing with industry partners focused on tax education, accounting. Use real-world examples. Simulate simple tax filing exercises for students, e.g., mock BEER forms. Partner with BEER for school campaigns. Invite BEER officers for lectures or interactive activities like Tax Week in schools. KeyCap 2 Commission on Higher Education, CHED, enhance college curriculum. Require basic tax literacy modules for all business, entrepreneurship, and finance courses, even in non-business programs. Through micro-credentialing with industry partners focused on tax education, accounting. Support student-led financial literacy clubs. Fund initiatives that include tax education seminars and workshops. KeyCap 3 Bureau of Internal Revenue, BEER, simplify learning materials. Provide infographics, short videos, and guides in Filipino and major dialects. Expand the Buwis Mo, Para sa Bayan campaign. Target specific sectors like freelancers, MSMEs, and OFWs. Mobile tax education units. Deploy roving teams to conduct barangay-level orientations, especially in rural areas. KeyCap 4 Local Government Units, LGUs, barangay tax awareness drives. Include tax info booths during community events, registration drives, and business permit renewals. Free basic tax filing clinics. Assist small entrepreneurs, market vendors, and tricycle operators in preparing BEER forms. KeyCap 5 Media and Private Sector. Mainstream tax education in broadcast and social media. Create short, relatable explainer videos featuring common taxpayer situations. Corporate social responsibility, CSR, programs. Banks, insurance companies, and accounting firms can fund free tax literacy webinars for the public. Partnership with tax education-focused organizations. Collaborate with organizations focused on tax education, accounting for tax education and compliance. KeyCap 6 Professional organizations, CPA and business associations. Offer pro bono tax seminars for community groups, cooperatives, and startups. Freelancer and gig worker groups. Partner with BEER for sector-specific compliance workshops. IV. Why use tax accounting and not IFRS, in certain cases? A. Why use tax accounting and not IFRS, in certain cases? 1. Because the BEER requires it. Even if a business uses IFRS, PFRS for financial reporting, it must use tax accounting when filing tax returns. The Bureau of Internal Revenue, BEER, does not base taxes on financial accounting standards, but on the National Internal Revenue Code, NIRC, and its regulations. 2. IFRS versus tax accounting. Different purposes. Purpose: IFRS, PFRS tax accounting. Inform stakeholders' true and fair view of financial health, not the goal. Guide investments and credit transparent and consistent reporting, not relevant. Compute taxes do not designed for tax calculations. Checkmark main purpose of tax accounting. B. Reasons to use tax accounting instead of IFRS. 1. Legal requirement, NIRC. You are legally required to compute taxes based on tax rules, not accounting standards. The Bureau does not care if an expense is allowed under IFRS, it will disallow it if not permitted under the tax code. 2. Different treatment of income and expenses. Some deductions or timing differences are treated differently. OIFRS allows provisions. Bureau may disallow them until paid. OIFRS uses fair value. Bureau usually sticks to historical cost. 3. Tax benefits or penalties. Bureau gives prescribed depreciation rates, deduction caps, and incentives that do not exist in IFRS. Failure to follow tax rules, even if your financial report is IFRS compliant, can result in penalties and assessments. 4. Taxpayer classification matters. Small businesses, e.g., those under 3M gross sales, may be taxed under 8% flat tax or percentage tax, which has nothing to do with IFRS. Optional standard deductions, OSD, are tax-only concepts. Checkmark key message. Tax education should be multi-sectoral, using formal education, public campaigns, grassroots outreach, industry partners, and media engagement to make tax literacy part of everyday knowledge. For school, university, businesses, or Go Education Center partnerships, you may contact the Tax Education Unit of ETM Tax Specialista for inquiries.